Hey, Craig, how are you?
Good morning, Brad. How are you?
Doing pretty well. Loving this finally sunny weather we're getting, and it's the couple months coming up that reminds us why we live in Michigan at all. So I'm looking forward to it.
It's funny. First time really that I sat up here and almost had to draw the blinds, sun coming in here.
It's a beautiful thing.
It's a good thing. I'm excited. We paid our dues last couple
Yeah,
months.
we really did, for sure.
So, Brad,
For sure.
I wanted to jump on because I've gotten a lot of questions recently for the first time in, a long time. The Fed has started raising interest rates. And a lot of clients have asked, what does that mean? Why are they doing it? And so I thought maybe we just kind of have a brief discussion about it and maybe help clarify some things.
Yeah, absolutely. I've gotten a lot of questions similar as well. And of course, unless you're living under a rock or hiding from the news, which sometimes is a bad idea, you can't escape people talking about the Fed interest rates and what's going on. So there's a couple different reasons, that they're raising interest rates, but the main one is to combat inflation. So again, as we're seeing on the news and hearing all the time, inflation is back, and some people are afraid that it's maybe out of control and here to stay. So what sort of is happening right now is the Fed lowered interest rates really aggressively to help get us through the massive slowdown we had the last couple of years relative to COVID. And now prices are kind of creeping up a little bit faster or a lot faster than they want. So ultimately what inflation means is prices are getting higher and higher for the same goods or the same items that we're buying. And obviously that's a problem if it happens too fast and for too much time. So the Fed is really trying to raise interest rates to make it a little bit harder to do things like buy a house, for example, buy a car, for businesses to borrow money, just to kind of slow down the demand a little bit that's pushing inflation so high. So that's kind of the main reason they're doing it. But Craig, what does this mean for, savers and investors?
Well, that's a very interesting point. It's something I've been talking about for years. It's wonderful for borrowers, as we all know. The lower the rate you pay, the better it is. It's been terrible for savers, and not just our clients, but pensions and so forth, who rely on the interest income from bonds and the security of bonds. Have really been in a very low in rate environment for so long. So rising rates is not a bad thing for savers. So on the flip side, though, as you kind of alluded to earlier, it's really poor for those borrowers, and so any companies or individuals who are heavily borrowing, it's obviously they're going to see increasing costs.
Absolutely. And I guess we're seeing that affect clients on both ends, where we've got some clients lately who are, starting to buy and invest in different types of bonds, specifically treasury bonds, as interest rates are going up. The interest you can get that's somewhat guaranteed by the federal government is looking more attractive. But to your point, we have a lot of clients who are still looking for a new home or a second home, and mortgage rates are going up. So the payments on those are looking a lot different. So it's kind of affecting all of us in different ways.
Yeah. And the Fed's going to keep doing it for at least a foreseeable future, just to try to get things, like you said, back in balance. Supply has been really constrained, as everybody knows, and demand went way up. So they're just trying to make those come together a little more. And I think they'll be effective.
Yeah, I think so too. Hopefully it'll slow down here. And the other quick side note relative to all this too is the supply chain concerns relative largely to COVID are kind of an extra, fuel to the inflation fire. So hopefully that'll get back in check too, and we'll start seeing things move the right direction.
Good stuff. Good info, Brad.
Yep. Good conversation. Hope that's helpful.